Hello, friends, and welcome to episode number 30 of the Elevate Your Craft vlog. And this is Journey to Running a Marathon, Volume 3. I've been running quite a bit lately, as I guess you would expect when training for a marathon, but I've been focusing a lot on speed. I still haven't done a run longer than 26 kilometers, but I think that's okay though. I think I'm in really good shape. There's been improvement in my speed, namely in the 3 kilometer, 5 kilometer, and 10 kilometer ranges. I've included on the screen there the 10 kilometer, the most recent 10 kilometer and 3 kilometer runs, and these were meant for speed. So I wanted to do these as quickly as I could, while also trying to manage how long I think I could go without burning myself out, but finishing the distance. And that's definitely a challenge. And that's really where this data that I'm accumulating with the Forerunner 935 is coming in. And it's doing a really good job of it. Very happy with it. And it's definitely helping me improve. However, one of the things that I've been thinking about lately is the impact that this watch and this data is having on my mindset when running. And it came to light when I was speaking with a good friend of mine who is an avid runner, or at least was strictly a runner, does triathlons now, but definitely has a lot more experience than I do, is a better runner than I am. And I mentioned one of the things that I'm struggling with is I think I'm a little too conservative in my runs. I'm often worried, will I complete the distance? How fast am I going? That first sign of being tired, am I gonna do it? I start kind of playing these mind games with myself. And I mentioned that I was using the watch, and he said, you know what, you should try and run without it. Maybe not completely, not getting rid of it, but have these runs where you don't have it and you don't worry about those things. You don't worry about the metrics. It's more about just getting out there and running for the sake of running and just pushing yourself, not worrying so much about the distance or your pace or your heart rate or things like that. And just have fun with it, run for the sake of running. And I thought, that's interesting, and I think it is affecting my mindset in maybe a negative way where I'm sort of drowning in the metrics. So I don't really know much more than that. I do have to think about it more and maybe see what the runs are like without it. But like anything, it has its trade-offs. I love parsing the data, looking through it, just seeing where I'm improving, where I need help. But at the same time, I think, man, I also need to have fun, get out there and run for the sake of running, for my mental and physical health and the experience. So anyway, I thought I'd throw that out there. But speed has been the name of the game lately. However, I think the next couple runs will be a recovery run, probably a 10K recovery run. Just going to try and I'm going to keep the pace slower, and the heart rate, the goal there is to just keep it between 145 and 155, and just deep breaths and really taking every step of the run in, and kind of thinking about how it's nurturing my body, getting the blood flowing, that kind of thing. And then after that, I'll be getting to a 31 kilometer run. So what I've been doing is going up in increments of 5, which has seemed manageable so far. Don't know how it'll fare for the 31, but I mean, hey, if I do 26 at the minimum and then add a kilometer, well, you know what, that's an improvement. I'll take it. However, I do want to reach 31, which I think I will do. I'm not too concerned about it. And I think that's where these speed runs have really helped, because you feel tired, you're huffing and puffing, and They're not comfortable, but I think it gives you the capacity to deal with very long distances in doing that, because I've found at the longer runs, it's not that I'm that uncomfortable from a cardiovascular standpoint, it's more my limbs and my hips, things like that that are starting to ache and all that kind of thing. So conditioning myself for that's obviously important, but as far as my cardio is concerned, I really feel like I could just go on for a long, long time. So the short, faster runs have really given me perspective there, which I think is really good. And there's, of course, I do have a lack of experience. I'm just learning, I'm getting better, I'm getting in better shape. So I'm just trying to really pick through all of these details, notice and acknowledge these details and see what I can do with them. So as I mentioned, on screen there are my latest 2 runs, a 3 kilometer and a 10 kilometer. I had improvements in both, which is awesome. The pace, time, even my heart rate. I don't worry too much about heart rate in these kinds of runs, more recovery runs I do, but improvements across the board, which felt great. And I'm actually, for the 10K, I'm getting pretty close to what my 10K PB was. Geez, it's probably 10 years ago. I don't remember the exact time, but I'm pretty sure it was between 53 and 54 minutes back then. So I'm pretty close to that now, which feels pretty good, I got to say. So I think my next speed run will probably be 5K. We'll see. The 3K is really good, and I think I want more experience before I move up to 5. Heck, I might even do 4. Why not, right? Just increase it by a kilometer and work my way up to a 5 kilometer pace. But one additional tile you'll see there is a 200 pull-up goal. So my calisthenics as of late is taking a similar vein of endurance, and I've just been doing a lot of reps of pretty much everything. So last night I did the 3 kilometer speed run, and I also did 200 pull-ups. So, and that's certainly not consecutively, that's in one session. That's the approach I've been taking for the most part for just basic exercises like push-ups, pull-ups, body weight squats. I'm just doing as many reps as I can, setting quantities and then trying to achieve them. For core work, I'm more sticking to traditional rep set structure, keeping it to hanging leg raise variations and planks. But everything else, taking this high volume approach. For pull-ups, my whole strength training career, pull-ups have been very intimidating to me. They haven't come easy. So part of it, I just said, I'm gonna go all out and attack them. And I have been, and that's what started all this. So last night the goal was 200 reps. And I did it. And I started off at 5 reps, whenever I just felt up to doing it. I did time myself, which is what the 58, 57 is. So it took me under 2 hours to do the 200 reps, which is great. But then by the end, I was doing 2 at a time. So it went down from 5 at a time to 3 at a time to 2 at a time. And then within the last 10 reps, I was doing 1 at a time because it was getting pretty tough. And when I finished off, my hands, my arms were shaking. It was pretty exhilarating, I must say. So my goal is to get to 250, which doesn't feel too far off. I'm feeling very good. And then eventually 500. But, whenever that happens, that happens. I'm just going to incrementally go up. So that's what that tile represents, and that's also what I'm doing. Definitely a part of this journey to a marathon. I did get back into the weights for a couple months there, but I've kind of shifted back towards strictly calisthenics and the running, of course. So One other thing I do want to touch on, and it's more just a feeling that it's just bizarre in my mind anyway, of during the runs, I find that I'm slowly speeding up throughout them. And I think I touched on this in the previous vlog, but it just feels so bizarre that I'm speeding up. But it doesn't feel that way. I think, man, it feels like I'm slowing down. I'll take a look at my pace on my watch, and it's actually quicker. And I'm thinking, what? And then it kind of plays mind games on me. It's like, well, okay, so do I slow down because I still have a ways to go in the run, or do I just keep it up and then I'll finish quicker? But what if I keep it up, but then I can't finish the run? And you're like, oh my God, I'm in my head too much. And that's, I think, part of what I was talking about before with, I don't know. I hope that this type of thing diminishes with experience, and I think it will. But that's part of it too, is just controlling the mindset and really learning to control how you think, what you think, and encouraging yourself forward. So that's volume 3. I think that's all I've got for now. Things are great. I'm really excited. Looking forward to the next long run. And that's it, I think, for now. So until next time, you guys take it easy, and I'll catch you next time.